Welcome back to our class. Don't forget to subscribe if it is your first time to visit our channel. All right. Okay, let's look at the mechanism of breathing. How is breathing being brought about? Sometimes we call it ventilation. Ventilation. Like allowing air to come into the lungs. See, even those small ventilators on the house. It allows air to go in and out. That's how the lungs are. That's why it's called ventilators. So ventilation. Even the one they put on corona people, they call it ventilators. Why? Because they allow air to come in and to go out. Ventilators, ventilation. All right. The process of breathing is a mechanical process. Air moves in and out of the lung as a result of differences in the atmospheric pressure. So the atmospheric air pressure is different. If it is too much, the atmospheric air pressure is too much, then the air is dragged into the lungs. If it is low, the lungs have a higher pressure compared to the atmosphere, then the air is pushed out of the lungs. Then you're saying that involves different muscles. We saw them. We have the intercostal muscles, and then we have the diaphragm. These muscles' volume and pressure will aid in breathing in and breathing out. And it will result in changing of the thoracic cavity, the space of the thorax. Yes, the space of the chest. It will be what? It will be changed. So inhalation means breathing in of the air, and then exhalation means breathing out of air. So let's look at it. So you have the rib cage. These are the ribs. Yes, you have the air. If you go to inhalation, diaphragm contracts and then moves downwards. Yes, that is during inhalation. So what happens when you drag in air? This air will not drag in, or it will not come in unless these muscles have acted. So this one go out and up. When it goes out, like it goes to this side, from this point to this point, it goes out and up. That's why these arrows, they are like that. Yes. When they go out and up, yes, this diaphragm goes down. It goes down. When it goes down, it makes this space to shift from this point, you see where it is, to this point. It means that now the space inside the lungs is greater. It means that the pressure, the volume is big. It means that the pressure is low. Now the atmospheric pressure is going to be higher than that one of the lungs. And then the air is going to be dragged into the lungs. And then it comes to breathing out. Yes, what happens? These muscles and the rib cage, they move in and down. They move in, they go inside and then down. Yes, when they move in and down, yes, the diaphragm now tries to bend. It bends. It bends inside. When it bends inside, then it means that now the space inside here is going to be small. Pressure is going to be great. The pressure inside the lungs is greater than the atmospheric air pressure. And then the air is going to be pushed out of the lungs. Yeah. During inhalation, what happens? Breathing in. We say that inhalation, it is an active process. It means that it requires energy. So there is contraction of muscles. When the muscles contract, they require energy. During inhalation, the diaphragm, that is the diaphragm, this one, and then diaphragm muscles contract and it becomes flat. It doesn't have that shape, and then moves downwards. It moves to the downer side. Then the intercostal muscles between the rib, they contract. These muscles between here, they contract. And then the rib cage lifts upwards and outwards. It goes up and out, goes up and out, so that the space inside the thorax is increased, so that the volume is increased. The increase in volume will reduce the pressure inside. And then the outside pressure of the air is greater than the inside pressure of the air in the lungs. And what happens? Then the air pressure in the lungs decreases as the chest volume increases. and then the atmospheric pressure is greater than the pressure inside the lungs, and then now the air is going to start flowing into the lungs. That's basically what is inhalation, and this is the opposite of exhalation. So if we we look at exhalation, is almost the same as inhalation in opposite way. So what happens? This is a passive process. It means that doesn't require energy. Doesn't require energy. It means that muscles don't contract. So it means that muscles tend to relax. That's why you're saying that it's a passive process. So during exhalation, you're saying that air is pushed out. It is breathing out. So air is pushed out. So what causes air to be pushed out? Number one, you have the diaphragm relaxes. When the diaphragm relaxes, this diaphragm, yeah, it relaxes and then moves upwards. So it moves to the inner side. You see, it was passing here during inhalation, but now it is pushed inside. It goes upwards. And then the intercostal muscles relax. These muscles on the rib cage, they try to relax. And then what happens when they relax? The rib cage moves downwards and inwards. It moves down. You see, it was passing here. These dotted lines are showing you where it was passing. It moves downwards. It moves downwards and in, down and in. You try to do a breathe out. You will see that your chest will go down. You will cool down. Yes. And then you're saying that the air pressure in the lungs is increased because now this diaphragm is pushed in, and then the volume reduces. When the volume reduces, then the air inside, or the volume inside the lungs, is reduced. Then it means that the pressure is increased, and the pressure pushes that air out of the lungs because the pressure in the lungs is greater than the pressure outside the lungs or in the atmosphere. So the air is pushed out so that now we equalize the pressure, and then another breathing in can do again. Basically, that's what you need to know about inhalation and exhalation. So here are some of the questions. Wanted you to know about this. It is a model used to demonstrate the mechanism of breathing. This is the mechanism of breathing. One is showing breathing in, one is showing breathing out. When you are breathing out, it means that the lungs they do contract. When they contract, yes, it pushes the air out of the what? Out of the lungs. So you see that now the air is being pushed out of the what? The air has been pushed out. So the volume here is small in this balloon. It's small. If the volume is small, the pressure is high. Then the air is pushed out. And then here you have the volume has been increased. It means that now the pressure has reduced. The volume is big, the pressure is low, and then air is dragged into the what? The lungs. Just this is acting as the lungs. Then you have the diaphragm. You see the diaphragm. When you push it in, then the diaphragm goes in. When you are breathing out, yes, the diaphragm goes up. You see, it goes up. And then you are breathing in, the diaphragm goes down. Yes, when it goes down, it means that the volume inside here is what? Is big. And then it causes the air to be moved into the lungs. So basically, that's how you can interpret this small experiment. For each of the model part listed below, provide an appropriate name for the corresponding part in the human respiratory system. Which one is a corresponding part in a human respiratory system? Number one, the glass tube. This is the glass tube. You see, they're saying this is a glass tube. Then it means that this is the trachea. See, this is a trachea which brings the air into the lungs. Yes. Then you are saying that the balloon is acting as the lungs. Yes, it's where gaseous exchange is taking place. Oh, it's where. And then the bell jar. What is the bell jar? The bell jar is acting as a protection for the lungs. So it can be, we can call it a rib cage. Yes, it is acting as the protection for the what? For the lungs. So we are saying that another question, does B, this B, Does B represent an active or a passive process in human mechanism of breathing? Remember, active is breathing in. It requires energy. And then passive is breathing out. Doesn't require energy. The muscles relax. So does it show active or passive? If you look at it, it is breathing. You are breathing in. When you're breathing in, muscles must contract. So it shows an active process. What happens to the air pressure in the bell jar at B? At B, what happens to the air pressure at B? The air pressure inside here, it means that the air pressure is what? Is reduced because the volume has been increased. When you put it down, the volume increases. When the volume increases, the pressure reduces. Therefore, the air pressure inside reduces while the air pressure outside is greater than the air pressure inside. So the air pressure, the answer is the air pressure does what? Reduces. And then they're saying that what happens to the volume? What happens to the volume of the space in the bell jar at B? So we see that if the pressure has been, the pressure has reduced. If you look at it, if the pressure has reduced, when you put it down, obviously the volume increases. And then when the volume increases, the pressure reduces. So what is happening here? The air pressure reduces while the volume increases. Then they're saying that, what do you see as a restriction to the models when comparing them to the actual human body? When you are comparing it, mention two possible limitations of the model shown in the above. If you look at this model, what are some of the limitations? Basically, if you look at the rib cage, this bell jar, it does not move. It is static. Yes. Yeah. The rib cage, for it goes up. It moves up and out. It moves up and out, and then moves down and in when it's breathing in and breathing out. But this bell jar does not move, so it is a limitation. So that's number one. So what? It's a limitation. Number two, if you look at lungs, the lungs, there are two. Here they are just showing only one kind of lung. In actual sense, there are two of them. So basically, that's how you can try to discuss such a question. Just in case that we bring it in the exam, you should know how to discuss it and get at least the what? The marks. Gaseous exchange in lungs.